Alright, now we are talking, or now we are not talking, because this is famously a series I routinely have not succeeded at being able to talk about for a whole video. This is Excellent Man 26, Nate Phoenix. This is a series that could best be described as a book that never really had a direction. In that sense, this cover is perfect because it doesn't imply a single thing. It is just the title character. It might be one of the earliest examples of a poster cover too. Nate Phoenix was a 90s character who is usually now a punchline, but back then he had some potential. He was an appealing character, but the big hurdle that he never overcame was that Brett Kavanagh wrote most of his series, and Brett Kavanagh is one of the all-time worst writers. And this issue has fill-in art by one of the most crappy comic book pencilers who has never done anything remarkable but manages to show up everywhere. Let's also take a moment to marvel at Brett Kavanagh's awful writing, which saw him of Nate Phoenix become BFFs with Spider-Man, because he didn't have any other way to make a character seem cool than having Spider-Man be his best friend. Genuinely pitiful. Part of the reason that I am covering this is because it loosely follows up on the crossover with Excalibur that I already reviewed. And the other reason is because the next issue and the issue after that are ones that I have had since I was a wee little nipper, since I was 8 or 9. But here, Nate has gone to Scotland to have Bo and Myra follow up on her tests on his powers. We have guest appearances from some of the excellent men stationed there. We didn't get any follow-up on the thing between Nate and Wolf's girl. They just ignore that. They seem to become friends in the other story, but it's all ignored here. And on this page, there is implied sex between Warren Fallis's self-insert character and the notably very young Elliot Pride. And then sorry about that. Bo and Myra trying her best to look like a cyborg is funny. The plot is that Nate's powers have cut out and he has a genetic disorder that Bo and Myra predicted would kill him before adolescence. And that is the impetus for this whole thing. And by this point in the series, Nate Phoenix is wearing a string vest. So it is tough to feel sympathy for him. Also tough is reading any scene with Bo and Myra because of Jonathan Huckleberry's terrible retcons. Every aspect of her appearance here is rendered sociopathic. She is pretending she is not a mutie. She is pretending she is the first human being to contract muty AIDS. She is pretending that she has not lived 10 lives or whatever, and her awareness and knowledge of muties is far less than it is. I quite liked the arc in the 90s with her getting muty AIDS. And it is the only time I thought something interesting was done with Boring Myra. And Jonathan Huckleberry took that and made it not only no longer count, but made her look like a real psychopath in the process. Speaking of bad guys, we have our baddie for this story, Dark Smurf. He has been tracking Nate Fenix since he arrived in this reality. Both of them, Nate and Dark Smurf, they come from the Age of Armageddon timeline. And as expected, as you will have noticed from how few plot developments I have summarised, very, very little is moving along in this. I have not skipped or glossed over things. I do with some comics which are packed. But I have really, truly, honestly summarised every bit of plot in this issue so far. Boring Myra, she discovers that Nate has lost his telekinetic abilities, so they have a really pointless fight. And I mean, really, really pointless. The issue needed an action sequence, so the two of them flip a switch in their brains and start fighting for no reason. They say it was because she wanted to provoke him and test if his psi powers would emerge if his life was in danger. But fuck off. It was so needless and forced. Our lead in to the next issue is the appearance of Pillock, who has come to recruit Nate Fenix to his very clearly evil group of evil muties. He, alongside Dark Smurf, and then this girl with him here, who normally looks hot in a she would rape me kind of way, they make up Pillock's latest misguided team of muties who are featured in Extra Factors. I like it because Pillock is a tosser, and it is great for any comic to shit on him. But we will see more of them next issue. Normally, I would end it there, but we also have a preview for an issue of Cables. And I just wanted to say that this one with Mara, this issue of Cables, this was another one that I had. I must have gotten one of those packs of comics because I had this issue of Cables and the issue after it, I think. I had the next 2 issues of Excellent Man. I had 2 issues of Extra Factors. And I had 2 issues of Adjectiveless Excellent Men, all from the same span of 2 or 3 months. I think I still have 2 or 3 of those copies from back then. I might try and find them for if I ever do the next part of this story. I think I got them at Butland's. I'm pretty sure there was a forbidden planet outside of a Butland's I went to. I also got another pack and I didn't know what was in that besides the 2 Excellent Men issues that tied in with Bloodlines. Both of which I still have. Stuff like this is what I need to focus on to fill a video about Excellent Man 26. I really don't know what to say about this issue. It exists. I have got to give it 7 thumbs up for existing, but it did absolutely nothing that I wanted it to do, and still did much less than that.